morning guys, I hope you are well, long time no see. I have decided that this week I want to do a weekly vlog. Basically, we've started a new module. We are now moving on from locomotor to cardiopulmonary. So for the next 10 weeks, all of our lectures are going to be based around the cardiopulmonary system. We started last week with the lung, and this week we're doing respiratory failure and diseases. And it's kind of scary because this is the last big module of first year. So we have 10 weeks of this module and then that's the end of first year. So that's crazy. But yeah, I thought it would be good to do a weekly vlog because I actually have a few in-person bits this week. I got into a bit of a rut with vlogging because obviously it's really hard to make being in lockdown entertaining, but because I have things in person this week, I thought maybe it might be a bit more interesting. I got to campus just in time for my live pathology tutorial on pneumonia at 10. The tutorial was based around a case study of a patient with pneumonia, and we basically worked through the questions to do with that. It's normally led by the tutor, and sometimes we go into breakout groups, sometimes we don't. After the tutorial, I got started on my lectures. This first one was a metabolism lecture on glycolysis. I think anyone who's just done A-level biology would have found this really easy, but since it's been a few years for me, this was a good refresher. Then I decided to have my lunch. Costa were doing 50% off, so I treated myself to a mac and cheese. Not the most nutritious, but very yummy. And then after that, I did the last lecture I had set that day, which was just a microbiology lecture looking at some common respiratory viruses. I did have to rush through this lecture a bit because I was worried about missing the bus to the hospital for my lab. We're on our way to the anatomy lab. The last time we did this was in December?
Too long ago.
Too long ago. What are we even looking at today? No, but we're not. We already did the lungs online.
Not the lungs.
The nasal cavity.
The larynx.
The larynx.
The pharynx.
The pharynx. And the bronchi. And the trachea. Okay, we're finished.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. That was actually really interesting. We saw, what did we see? We saw nasal cavities.
Nasal sinuses.
Sinuses, we saw bronchi, trachea, lungs.
And a huge liver.
A huge liver, yeah.
Double the size of my head, and I'm not even joking.
We kind of got told off for talking about that because we don't learn that till next year.
Oh, we're rebels.
But yeah, it was really interesting and it was fun to be back in person.
Yeah.
But now I'm really tired because that was a really long day.
Very long.
Very long.
Very long.
As you may or may not know, I drink a lot of takeaway coffee. So, to try and stop myself from drinking so much coffee from Costa, I have bought myself a milk frother. Ooh. Jack's here, he's just watching. Okay. I'm gonna have to figure out how to use that. So you just put the milk in there and it makes perfect coffee every time.
Are you selling it?
Not
Links in the description.
Link in bio. Because I want to also be able to carry my coffee to campus with me, I have bought a Chili's.
Oh, I didn't know you did.
It's gonna be matching your one, but in
You're joking?
coffee cup form.
Anybody's actually copied me. It's literally the same thing, doing coffee cup.
So Jack has the water bottle version of this Chili's cup.
It's quite well damaged.
So that's so I can then transport my frothy coffees to campus. You can see my thought process, can't you?
Yes, it's quite clear.
It's and then finally, because I'm reading a lot of books at the moment, I picked up the book that I wanted, which is called Luster.
How much stuff have you bought?
It was payday. I got paid, can you tell? By Raven Leilani. Raven Leilani. I've heard good things about this book and it was on my to-be read list, so I ordered it. And that is the end of my haul. On Tuesday, I decided to work from home. I spent the morning doing another metabolism lecture. I do think metabolism might be my least favourite subject we're studying this year, just because I don't understand how my brain is supposed to remember so many pathways and enzymes. Ugh, it's just not for me. Next, I had a lecture on respiratory failure. The lecturer had uploaded the recording from last year's live lecture, and the fire alarm went off halfway through. If I closed my eyes, I could almost pretend I was there with them in the lecture theatre. I finished all today's lectures. It is nearly 1 o'clock now, so it's like 12:30, and I have a group project thing at 2. So I think me and Jack are going to go for a walk now because it's just such a nice day and it hasn't been sunny here in, no joke, like 2 weeks. So this group project thing is like an optional module we take, and we basically have to produce a creative outcome. My group is looking at the portrayal of AIDS in film. So we've been looking at films like Philadelphia and Angels in America. For our assessment, we have to pick a scene from a film, and then in small groups we have to present our analysis. This week we got put into those groups and then had to spend time deciding which movie or TV show we were going to look at. And you'll see in a sec the awkward footage of me talking to my group. Hello. But yeah, I don't know, because she said we could do that, because I thought it was going to have to be a film. Then maybe we could make a little group chat and decide after we've all watched it kind of which bit we would want to analyse. Right. Bye. Bye. See you later. The last thing I have to do today is I have to go through the questions for my tutorial. Tomorrow it's an in-person tutorial on campus. I'm very excited, but I've just got an email with the questions, I think, so I'm going to go through those now, just in case they pick on me tomorrow. Today I fancied baking some cakes because I was so bored of looking at my screen by this point. I decided to make some vanilla cupcakes. I am definitely not the most talented baker and I don't even own any scales, so I kind of just do everything by eye and hope for the best. While my cakes were in the oven, I made a few Anki flashcards to finish off the day. I feel a bit like Ali Abdul saying this, like every spare minute I'm doing something, but I promise in the evening I did literally no more work. Here are the finished cakes. I only put hundreds and thousands on half of them because for some weird reason Jack doesn't like hundreds and thousands, but you know, whatever. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of them. They didn't burn. They're a bit wonky, but I'm sure they're gonna taste really nice. Morning guys! So I am heading to campus now for my 2 tutorials. I have a physiology tutorial 10 till 11 and then an immunology tutorial 11 till 12. So back-to-back tutorials on campus. I've just had a look at the buildings I'm in and I have no idea where I'm going. I'm going to leave soon because I know I'm going to get lost on campus. Can I go on the end? So my second tutorial was in the maths building. As you can see, this really is some of the most stunning architecture that the University of Southampton has to offer. After the tutorials, some of us headed to the Centenary building to do our lectures for the day. I realised I hadn't eaten breakfast, so I did treat myself to a blueberry muffin before getting on with my final metabolism lecture of the week on glucose storage and regulation. Home now. I don't think I'm going to do any more uni work today. I need to do my Chloe Ting workout. And normally a Wednesday afternoon is actually for sports at uni, so technically in normal times I wouldn't even have to be working right now. So the sun was shining on Friday morning, so before I started any uni work, I decided I would go for a run. I am not a great runner, but ever since I did Couch to 5k in the first lockdown, I've actually kind of started to enjoy it. My favourite place to go running is Southampton Common because it's so green. Usually it's really busy, but for some reason today there was hardly anyone about. I have had a bit of a slow start to my morning, but I've decided now I'm going to head into campus because I have 3 quite tricky looking lectures to do and it is such a nice day. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have been working on campus a lot more recently, and that is mainly due to the fact that Jack has started working from home with his new job, so it's gotten a bit more tricky and I like to give him some more space because he's taking up the office, so I just prefer working on campus at the moment. And obviously I'm really lucky to have the chance to do that, so I'm obviously going to take advantage of it if it's allowed. So another day, another set of pre-recorded lectures. I am really looking forward to the day I have the choice to go to an in-person lecture again. Not saying I'm going to go to all of them, but you know, it would be nice to have the choice. Anyway, this first lecture was a pretty straightforward one on the pathology of COPD and asthma. And then my final lectures of the week were 2 pharmacology lectures. The first one was on steroids and the second one was on drugs that are used to treat asthma. Before I went home, I decided to go over those dreaded metabolism lectures one more time. I basically got a sheet of A3 paper and tried to condense all the key parts from all 3 lectures onto one page. It was a really good way to kind of zoom out of the topic and make me feel a bit less overwhelmed, I guess, with all the information. And that was the last thing I had energy to do before heading home for the weekend at about 4 o'clock. I am about to start making dinner for me and Jack. We're having Toad in the Hole. Yeah, so tonight is date night. I'm cooking this week. And we're trying really hard not to get takeaways at the moment because we got takeaway like so many weeks in a row. So for the next few weeks we're trying to be good. Okay, everything is nearly ready. I'm gonna make a little drink. I'm gonna have a quarter. Do you want a half? I was gonna have the other bit late tomorrow or something. I think you could eat all that.
Yeah.
You reckon? God.
Sahi on my right.
You want all of that bit?
Yeah. I'll go for the closest one.
Oh, hot! Got back a ladle. There you go. Gravy's on the table.
Next to that.
Here is the finished product. So, I have crafted this piece of cardboard into Battle Shots cake. So this is my contraption that I've made. I can't see Jack's side. Can you see mine?
No.
Okay, so I don't really know how to explain it. It's just like battleships, but we're gonna put shots on the board. F5.
Yes. C6.
Oh.
B6. You're not going to believe who snaked you out.
Who?
Charlotte.
What did she say? She said all the
She
coordinates.
said she's got 1B, don't tell her. Cheers.
E4.
That's it.
Yes!
About time.
Hit E4. Cheers. Kind of like mouthwash.
Oh, it's water. I didn't realise it was water. It's water, don't worry.
Woo! And I'm the winner. I won. Obviously I won.